a spaceman.
Empty. Miss Dunner, 6 rounds rapid. Sign. Well, that's it for another week, Miss Dunner.
It could sound like a distasteful chore, Major Ironside.
For some people, it would be.
You're not over fond of me, are you?
I never did like professional assassins.
I simply do as I'm told.
Well, don't you even want to see how you've done?
I know exactly how I've done.
God damn it, Kronk. We can't be expected to keep watching every goddamn graveyard in the country.
Kindly mind your language in front of my secretary, Inspector Blood.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
All I'm saying is this. By now, we have had 6 of these gruesome incidents, and you should have deduced some sort of a pattern.
Fleming.
You were saying, Sergeant Hound?
You talk like we were computers.
One of these days, you will be, gentlemen.
We'll start to worry when they can design one that can plant bricks in people's pockets. Come along, Sergeant. We'd better go and set up this graveyard patrol.
Serfs.
Our body snatchers made off with a friend of yours last night, Miss Dunner.
Sir?
Yes, the body stolen was that of our old acquaintance, Phil Scrotty.
Scrotty?
Yes, the gentleman that you put several bullets into.
6 to be exact. I used a Webley 38.
Phil Scrotty. He was no bargain alive. I wonder who'd want him dead.
Give it to me, nonsense! Please, give it to me!
You make me sick, Robag. Doesn't he make you sick, Bo?
Please!
Where did our lady boss find you, eh? What mouldering scientific institution did she dig you out of?
Can you bring people back from the dead?
My talent lies in the opposite direction.
Make him give it to me, Bo! Make him give it to me! Make him give it to me!
You can bring people back from the dead, eh? Big deal. You should open up a clinic. Call it the second time round.
I intend to, when I saved enough money.
Saved enough money, you drunken fool. You lost a body last night, Robag.
So did you?
Oh, no. Scotty's body never was there in the first place.
I'm glad.
I wouldn't let the boss lady hear you say that. Scotty was the only one she was ever really fond of. All the rest were red herrings, so to speak.
A drink. Please, a drink.
What happened?
I can't remember.
What happened to that perfectly good dead body we left you with?
I can't remember.
Which one was it?
I can't remember.
A man or a woman?
It's a man.
Which man?
I can't remember.
What did he look like?
I tell you, I can't remember.
Good dog. Beg. You're in big trouble, Robag.
I know.
Siri isn't going to like it.
Yes, I know.
She may even pass me the word to chop you.
It's so unfair.
Unfair.
Yes.
What happened?
Well, you know, I'm a social drinker.
You're a mad scientist.
Yes, but I'm a social drinker too. And you all go out. Leave me alone, and there's no one in the place but me and the dead man in the lab downstairs, and I want to drink so badly, and I can't drink by myself, can I? I'm a social drinker.
Hey, do you mean to say you brought this guy back from the dead just so someone to drink with?
Of course. I'm no solitary booze hound.
Then he dragged you under the table, eh, and walked off into the dawn.
Mike, could that gentleman drink?
Hey. Can't you remember anything about him?
Something to do with fish.
My name is Whitebait. I'm very well off. My wife is much younger than I am. She's very attractive.
Sexy?
Yes.
What's her name?
My wife?
Yes.
Abigail.
Ridiculous.
I was playing golf at Sunningdale. I had a few drinks before we started. Maybe more than a few. I needed a 3-inch putt at the 17th green for match, and I missed. Then everything went black. Black. I had the strangest dream. In this dream, I was dead. Then this funny little chap woke me up and said, "Have a drink." So I had a few drinks. Maybe more than a few. Then suddenly he passed out and I walked away and left him. Next thing I found myself sleeping under a bush in this park, and here I am.
Weird.
You haven't told me your name.
I never do.
What do you do for a living?
I unravel knots.
I don't suppose you'd lend me some money.
I never do.
I'm afraid to go home. My wife will kill me.
Never married myself.
My wife will kill me. She'll just kill me.
Strangers. We're all of us strangers.
Madam has finished.
Yes, thank you.
The bill, please.
Certainly, Mr. Defarge.
What's gone wrong now?
They've lost Robag, my pet scientist.
What kind of idiots have you got working for you?
These things happen.
They happen a little too often for my peace of mind.
Keep your voice down, hmm?
First of all, you go to the wrong place for Scrotty.
We went to the right place.
How could you be the right place if he wasn't there?
Because Scrotty was never dead, Mr. Defarge.
Nonsense, you made a mistake. And now your pet scientist is running around loose, probably blabbing his head off.
None such are after him.
Very reassuring.
Would you like to be in his shoes? I'm afraid there's something else.
There couldn't be.
One of the bodies escaped.
What?
Robag brought it back to life and it got away.
Well, you'd better find it again.
We don't remember what it looks like.
You don't...
It was just one of the diversionary ones we collected to hide the fact that we were really after Scrotty. We didn't take much notice of them.
Life can be so beautiful.
We must remain calm.
I stand to lose 3 million and you ask me to be calm?
This accountant that you fear, Samson Whitby, you are sure he cannot be bribed?
Absolutely incorruptible. He's an accountant of genius. If the Treasury bring him in, I'm lost.
Then he must be killed.
But you say only Scrotty knows what he looks like.
That is why we are trying to find him.
Thank you, sir. As you say, we must find Scrotty.
We shall find him.
sir, madam.
We went to the right place.
How could it be the right place if he wasn't there?
Because Scrotty was never dead, Mr. Defarge.
Well, Miss Dunner?
Can't understand it. I just can't understand it.
No. Anything to report?
Not a thing.
Not one single bloody thing.
Thank you very much. I want you to find Phil Scrotty.
Scrotty? I thought he was dead enough to bury.
The news was apparently premature.
Trust Scrotty. Or better still, don't.
Scrotty's death was an elaborate hoax, and I want you to find out why. Find out who fixed the fake funeral, who paid for it, who managed it, and then find Scrotty.
What do you think, Sergeant?
It's a living.
You've lost faith in me.
Let us say that I am just reserving my judgment.
How was it? How was it? How was it?
Perfect.
He's dead, I tell you. He's dead. Phil Scrotty's dead.
Phil. Phil, why do you always bring me to places like this?
To show the wealthy Mrs. Abigail Whitebait how the other half lives.
Phil. Phil.
Or maybe it's because I've seen too many Swedish movies.
Phil. No, please. Please. Please communicate with me. Please.
All right. I'm on the run, and everybody knows that men on the run come to places like this.
Why does everyone always do this to me? Why does everyone always treat me as if I was an idiot? My father, my mother, my two brothers, my sister, my husband. Oh, Miss Larkin, the gym mistress.
Who knows you're here?
My maid.
Everybody's right. You are a fool.
She's very discreet.
Answer it.
Hello?
Fool.
Hello? Speaking. What? Say that again. What? My husband? My dead husband just walked in the door? My dead husband just walked in the door. My maid says that my dead husband just walked in the door. My dead husband just walked in the door.
Good morning, Miss Dunner.
Morning, sir.
I rather think we're in for a very busy day ahead.
Speak for yourself, sir. My resignation, sir.
Why?
Because you've lost confidence in me.
Miss Dunner, have you ever shot a midget?
Imbecile! Cretin! Dummkopf! Schnoz! Do you wish to go back to the circus?
Oh, no.
Well, get out and earn your last chance.
You may do what you like with Robite, but I wish Scrotty brought back here alive.
You again.
You don't know what it's like.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You don't begin to know what it's like.
Yeah.
It's so embarrassing. I mean, all those wreaths people sent.
And the money.
All those letters of condolence.
And all the loot he left you.
Last night he wanted to touch me. It was...
You should read Kraft Ebbing.
Who?
Does anyone else know he's back?
Only the maid, and she's very...
I know, discreet. Did he talk any about what happened?
He doesn't remember.
He doesn't, huh?
You got any money?
How much do you love me?
A lot.
What are we going to do?
I'll think of something.
Clark speaking. Hello, Inspector Blood, and what have you got for me, eh? Oh, so the funeral arrangements were made and paid for by a certain Mrs. Abigail Whitebait, eh? Very interesting. Because one of the resurrected gentlemen also bore the name of Whitebait, yes, yes. No, stick with it, stick with it. A pattern is bound to resolve itself, yes. And I think that Mrs. Whitebait could very easily lead you to Phil Scrutty. And you've got to get to him before somebody else gets there first, right? Miss Donna.
Why could it be the right place if he wasn't there?
Because Scrotty was never dead, Mr. Defarge.
Interesting, isn't it? I want you to go down to the Treasury and find out all that you can about a Mr. Jolyon Defarge.
Phil Scrotty.
Not me.
What you doing here, then?
My name's Owen, Alan Owen. I'm carrying out a census.
What kind of a census?
Any Liverpool Irish Catholics live here?
Come off it.
Oh, all right, all right. What do you want?
I want you to meet a lady.
I already got one.
This one's called Siri Fanep.
I know about her.
Hmm?
Too rich for my blood.
We'll talk about your blood later. Come on, let's go.
Police!
Oh, I wish I were dead.
How come you're not? It's a long story.
We know someone who collects those. Shall we go?
That puts me practically back in the bloody circus. Give me a cigarette.
Empty.
Let's go and kill somebody. Like, for instance, Rowbag.
Well, Miss Tanner, what do we know about Mr. Jolyon Defarge?
Well, it took quite some time. He's a director of 282 different companies.
You're joking.
I wish I were. The Treasury have been going mad investigating. His main firm, the holding company, Defarge and Defarge, took on a government contract. When it was fulfilled, the profits were apparently extraordinarily high. 7 auditors were called in to investigate.
And what happened?
4 had nervous breakdowns, 2 committed suicide, and the other became a Trappist monk. Subcontractors, subcontracting, subcontracting companies throwing the ball backwards and forwards.
And was the problem ever resolved?
But according to the Treasury people, only one man could have resolved it.
Namely?
Samson Whitby.
Ah, an accountant of genius?
You know him?
No, not personally, only by reputation. Why wasn't he called in?
He has a mania for privacy. No one knows anything about him, what he looks like, where he lives, whether he has an office or not.
Why not?
Because the stuff was passed on to him through an intermediary. Phil Scrotty.
What was the sum involved?
They estimated £3 million.
Last night I slept rough among the bushes.
Must be pretty crowded there these nights.
Slight ground frost They'll kill me. They'll kill me. That's for sure.
Nothing's ever for sure.
Where did I go wrong? Was there a point where I made the wrong choice? Is there such a thing as choice?
Who knows?
It's not as though I asked for much, just to exploit my discoveries on cell reanimation and rejuvenation. To have a huge white clinic on the side of a Bavarian mountain. To walk through the wards each morning in a shining white coat. To see ancient actresses grow less and less like tortoises each day. To see tired tycoons recapture the springtime glow of their first expense account. Dreams.
We all have them.
Dreams? Yeah. But my dream nearly came true. You see, there was this man called Scrotty who knew something that this woman wanted to know, only he was dead, and so she promised me that if I brought him back to life, she'd subsidize my clinic. If only I could have stopped drinking. If I could have stopped drinking.
Moderation's the thing.
I swear, here and now, I'll never touch another drop.
Never too late to mend.
We had him.
Huh?
And we lost him.
Phil Scrotty?
Yes. Lost him right in the middle of Regent Street.
I'm not in the least concerned about how you lost him. All I'm concerned is that you found him again. Ah!
Lame brains.
Miss Dunn,
Sir?
how would you like another crack at Phil Scrotty, eh?
Oh.
Now, it's my guess that he'll make for our old friend and troublemaker, Cyril Von Epp, and ADF 27 say that he should be at one of these three addresses. Now, you'll probably find with him a little chap called Nonsuch. He's very, very dangerous. Watch out for him.
Yes, sir.
And there's also another gentleman, a Swedish gentleman, by the name of Bo, film director. He's attached himself to the City Van Epp outfit for the purpose of studying the darker manifestations of the human soul. Leave him alone.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell Major Ironside you're coming down.
Sign. A woman's work is never done. You may come out now.
Oh, it's a crying shame.
Hey, why are we laughing then?
Sending her out there with a gun loaded with blanks.
Well, if she wasn't so damned cocky, she'd check before she signed.
If she wasn't so damn cocky, I'd be dead right now. Imagine owing my life to your perverted sense of humor.
Not a word to anyone.
Naturally.
Or I'll come gunning for you. With real bullets.
I was just thinking about you.
How nice.
Do come in.
Not if Annie Oakley's around.
No, you're quite safe. Miss Dunner won't be back for a while yet. I've sent her off on an errand.
Somebody's coming. If it's Siri, I've gone to China.
Empty.
Perhaps. Perhaps not.
I've heard about you.
Are you sure you're not working for City Van Epp?
I can, but you can't be.
Why are you such an incredible double dealer?
Trouble is, I always see both sides of a question, especially when both sides are paying money. Look, it's really quite simple. I double-crossed you, and you quite rightly sent out your female assassin after me. I thought it best to drop out of sight for a while, hence the fake funeral.
Miss Dunner said that she left you dead behind your desk, and she's usually very reliable.
So they do say.
Well, what happened then? Why aren't you dead?
It's a secret.
Do you know a gentleman by the name of Roback?
What does he do?
He's a scientist, and he claims to have discovered a new method of raising the dead.
I've seen him in the movies. He's the one that always says, "Come into my laboratory, I have something to show you."
Open your shirt.
Huh?
Open your shirt!
If anyone comes in, you'll have to marry me. Satisfied?
Perfectly. City Van Epp obviously thought you were dead and decided to raise you with the aid of Roback.
Yeah?
And at the same time, she decided to resurrect a few other gentlemen just to confuse the issue.
It's one way of passing a long winter's evening.
Including a Mr. Whitebait.
I know his widow.
What's the relationship?
To me, she's the perfect woman. High income bracket, low IQ. Why should the Van Epp woman go to all that trouble over me?
Who knows? Who knows? Care for a cigarette?
Thank you.
I believe you know a Mr. Sampson Whitby.
So?
Something of a recluse, isn't he?
Something.
To everybody except yourself.
I once did him a favor.
Yes, well, they require his presence at the Treasury.
I'll handle it in the usual way, at the usual price.
Well, I shall get down there quickly, because they're beginning to panic.
I'm on my way. Good to see you again.
Yes, and you. Shall I put you on the payroll again?
No, it's more fun playing both ends against the middle.
Hello? Major Ironside? Could I have a few words with you, please? Now, I'd like you to come up immediately.
I was just about to go home.
Do that and don't come back.
Scrotty talked, eh?
No, it was all quite obvious, wasn't it? How long have you been sending that woman out with a useless gun?
Only the last 2 assignments.
Why?
Because my mother was a suffragette. The shame and loathing I used to feel when she chained herself to railings. And fear.
Huh?
So when I grow up, what do? I marry a woman exactly like her. Domineering, arrogant, overbearing. Do you know what a gun is?
Look,
It's a phallic symbol. It's the last phallic symbol. If we lose it, it's the end of men as we know them. The price of freedom is eternal vigilance, and we have not been vigilant. Already women have the vote, the Married Women's Property Act, a longer expectation of life. They outnumber us 5 to 4. I'm told they even have an extra layer of fat. I did it for us. I did it for us.
Phil,
Who else were you expecting?
you're late.
Things to do. Mr. Sampson Whitby, please. How's your husband?
In a funny state. He's frightened to go out.
Good. Keep him that way until I tell you different. Hello, Sampson. Oh, fine. Just fine. Look, I'm sending you along some stuff from the Treasury to play around with. Yeah, there's a little note inside. Yeah, well, look, whatever you find out, I want to be the first to know about it. Right? You're a doll. Bye.
You thought of something, darling?
The park near your house.
What about it?
Remember the bench just past the trees?
How could I forget it?
Have your husband there tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock, prompt.
But, darling, it's our bench.
Humor me, get him there.
I'll try.
You gotta do better than that.
He'll be there.
Good.
Have you thought of anything else, darling?
Yes. The scent of your hair maddens me.
Come in. Ah, is this for me?
Well, it's got your name on the label, sir.
Oh, I see.
Didn't know you were still here, sir. Do you want us to open this for you, sir?
No, that's perfectly all right. I know what's inside. I was expecting it.
Oh, in that case, we'll say good night, sir.
Good night. Good night. Poor Miss Donna.
You know, I miss having old Robag about. There's no one to kick around, to pinch, punch, bully, reduce to tears. Life's a drag.
Empty.
Hey, I wonder what happened to that stiff that drank old Robag under the table and then walked off, eh? Crazy. You know, today's an anniversary. It's exactly a week ago since I knocked off that old bag that came bursting in here. Fighting out of her class, she was. Scotty, out.
I apologize for his familiarity.
It's all right, I'm a Democrat.
I am not.
How come you live in the top of an old theater?
It has an atmosphere.
Yeah. Are we here to talk about the same thing?
I don't know what you want to talk about.
Samson Whitby.
We do both want to talk about the same thing.
I feel trapped. Trapped.
Take a pill.
I've done live.
I'll ask Dr. Grills for some more.
Where are you going?
Out.
You're always going out.
Or would you rather I stayed home and had people come here?
No. No, I don't want to see anybody. Or anybody to see me.
Well, that's that then. Try not to worry.
I do worry. I can't believe that this horrible thing has happened to me.
Oh, it happened all right.
How can I ever go out in the world again? How can I face the chaps from the club?
You'll have to do it one of these days.
I'll die first.
You tried that already. It didn't seem to work. Why don't you work up to it, gradually?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, why don't you try going out to places that are quiet, where you're not known?
Such as?
Well, the park.
Park?
Yes, that's what to do. I'll meet you in the park.
Today?
2 o'clock. The bench, just out of the trees. No one ever goes there.
I couldn't. I couldn't.
Don't be such a baby.
I'm not.
Prove it then.
I'll do it.
Clever boy.
Abigail. Two o'clock, then.
The car's here, madam.
I wish I could trust you.
You have no other option, have you?
But I have a long memory.
Look, let's stop playing games. Your client's jolly in Defarge, right?
I didn't say so.
All right, I'm telling you then.
What else are you telling me?
He's in trouble. The Treasury's investigating him.
Everybody knows that.
Everybody doesn't know it. The investigation's supposed to be a secret.
Go on.
The way I hear it, Defarge stands to have to pay back something like £3 million, right?
I said nothing.
And only one man can put the finger on Defarge. The accountant, Samson Whitby. And only one man knows who that accountant is. Me.
How much?
That's better.
How much?
Let's say you're on 10% for getting rid of this accountant who can't be bribed. Reasonable?
Reasonable.
Right. I'll take 10% of your 10%, and I'll set up Samson Whitby.
Agreed. What does he look like? Where do I find him?
In the park, 2 o'clock, on the bench just past the trees. He's a big, round, fat man.
What now?
Mrs. Abigail Whitebait.
You want us to pick it up?
I want you to pick up our maid.
A maid?
My precise words.
We'll pick it up.
Take care not to drop it on the way back.
Oh, charming.
Looks like it's never been used. Perambulator. It comes from a Latin word, meaning you men are all the same, eh? Hey, I wonder what the hell Silly could want with this.
All fixed?
Yes.
Good.
What are you going to do?
Remember you asked me to think of something?
Yes.
Well, I've thought of it. You know you look quite charming in black.
How long have you worked for Mrs. Abigail Whitebait, Mary?
3 years.
And you like the job?
It's all right.
And would you say that Mrs. Whitebait's married life was a happy one?
It was all right.
Do you ever remember a Mr. Philip Scrotty coming to the house?
Don't think so.
Were you there when Mr. Whitebait died?
Yeah.
And was Mrs. Whitebait very upset?
Not half as upset as she was when he come back.
He came back?
Yeah, and I wish he'd go away again. I get left alone in the house with him when she goes out. He gives me the creeps.
Thank you very much, Mary. Thank you very, very much indeed. Ah, Inspector Blood, Cronk speaking. I want you to go back to the Whitebait household and pick up Mr. Whitebait. Oh, Mr. supposed to be dead, but he isn't. He may not be as dead as we at first thought. Cronk speaking. Who is it? Oh, the Treasury. Oh, put them through. And now, my dear sir, what can you tell us about the Jolyon Defarge affair? Hmm? Did your genius accountant find all the books as crooked as Harry Lauder's walking stick? Hmm? Huh? What? Everything in apple pie order? Oh. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Scrotty. I wonder what your little game is, friend Scrotty.
Siri, Scrotty, starting now. Yeah, Samson Whitby's all set up. I'll stop and talk to him so that there's no doubt. Then you take over. Yeah. All systems go.
Scrotty. Scrotty, where are you? And what the devil are you up to?
You're not going to like this.
Then you'll probably enjoy telling me.
One of your dead men turned up. Dead.
Which one?
Whitebait.
Somebody shot him.
Where?
On a bench. In the park.
Second killing there in the week.
And what have you done about it?
We thought of moving the bench.
Oh, shut up, Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Scrotty. Scrotty, the poet of double dealers. Somehow, he's managed to beat us all. You, me, Silly Van Epp, Abigail Whitebait, and even the Treasury. But how? But how?
The greatest good of the greatest number.
Yes.
Robag perished, aspiring to be God.
There are some things man should not meddle with.
Whitebait perished in mistake for someone else. He was a born victim. There are more of them than you may think.
The trick is not to be one.
On the other hand, thanks to the connivance of a genius accountant, Jolyon Deforge got away with 3 millions of public money.
It would only have been wasted anyway.
Siri Van Epp got her share.
Beauty should be paid to walk the earth.
And I, myself, scored lightly.
Number one is prime.
None such tasted blood.
Somebody has to taste it.
And Beau progressed closer to the ultimate darkness of the human soul.
That he should live so long.
The greatest good of the greatest number.
Hooray!
I'm a widow again.
One more time and you'll win the title outright. Goodbye, Samson.
Bye, Phil.
I'll post off your check tonight.